I'm standing in front of the mill, Bowley Mill, where St. Bernadette was born. She lived with her family here till she was 10 years old. Her mother had inherited this house from her mother. Bernadette's father had married Bernadette's mother, Louise, who was only 17 at the time. She was the second oldest, and they lived here for 10 very happy years with the family. But then they fell on hard times. There were financial difficulties, and they had to leave here. They ended up living in another mill for a short time, and they couldn't pay the rent on that. And then they ended up in the very, very difficult hovel that they lived in when the apparitions took place. It was actually a former jail. It was a very difficult time for them. But St. Bernadette lived here for 10 very happy years, and she had a beautiful family life. Her parents were loving. She learned her faith from them. She didn't have too much of an education. She had some difficult time learning. She was very tiny. She was only 14 years old when the apparitions took place, and she was 1 meter 40 centimeters, which is 4'7". So she was very, very tiny and a fragile girl. She had difficulties with asthma, and yet this is where it began. St. Bernadette was born into a home, into a family. She learned her faith from her family. She learned her faith from the church, and she eventually became a saint. So people can come from very ordinary circumstances and end up becoming saints. You and I are called to the same. We're all called to holiness. We're all called to be saints.